Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Nick Fair from the IT Innovation Centre at the University of Southampton, and I'm here today with my colleague
Dr. Stephen Phillips, also from the IT Innovation Centre.
Okay, now we're going to move on to the next stage of risk assessment using the Spyderisk cybersecurity risk assessment tool. So far we've learnt how to model the system and how to resolve any of those errors in that modelling process. Next we'll actually move on to the risk assessment process itself. However, before we can do that, it's very important that the person with the expert knowledge of the system, in this case that would be you as the person building the model, needs to consider the impact of certain risks or threats manifesting themselves onto your system. That impact level will depend on your particular context, your particular business, the nature of your particular system. And so Stephen's now going to show us how we can go about adjusting that so that it most accurately reflects your system and what would happen if something went wrong with various parts of it.
Exactly, yeah. So now we've finished constructing the model, we'll just close that panel on the left there. So one thing the validation does is it adds in a load of attributes for each asset to help you do some more fine-grained configuration. And one of those things is the impact levels of different consequences at the asset. And the Spyderisk tool lets the user follow the process defined in ISO 27005, which is just a risk assessment process. And part of that process is to identify what's called the primary assets for your business. You've got the primary ones and the supporting assets. And the primary ones are generally the really key data sets and the key business processes that your business has. And the idea is to focus on those key primary assets to understand your situation better. In our case, the customer data is the key data set that is being supported by the rest of this system. So we're going to click on the customer data set to bring up the customer data information on the right. And the consequences panel is already open here. So this is telling us all the different things that can kind of go wrong with the data set. You can lose authenticity, lose availability, lose confidentiality, integrity, timeliness, meaning is it up to date when it needs to be, and whether it's infected with malware. And we know, because we're modelling this system, that this customer data is really important to the business. So, for instance, if we lose confidentiality, that's going to be a big problem for the business. So I'm just going to label that as high. That might be slightly over the top. I mean, the scale we're using is that high means that this consequence, if it occurred, would cause serious loss of business functionality that would be fatal if not stopped very quickly. I'm not sure if it would be fatal, but it would be pretty bad for the business. So, maybe high, maybe medium, but we'll go for high just to emphasize it.
Yeah, I think in this case, if, for example, the customer data containing names and addresses were lost, and this became widely known in the media. I mean, we've seen examples of this with data around police officers in Northern Ireland and so on. Then people may lose all trust in your business, and your customers may just desert you, in which case it would be fatal.
Yeah, and I mean, it's best to err on the side of overemphasizing the impact of consequences, because just to help really minimise your situation. So aside from that, I mean, loss of availability, that's going to be a problem in that you're not going to be able to make any sales, perhaps. So we'll set that as medium, meaning that it's going to cause a serious but non-fatal loss of functionality or efficiency. Integrity and authenticity are very similar things, really, just kind of different forms of data corruption. We're just going to set those to medium. You can look up the differences yourself with the tooltips. But I think that'll do for this data set. Loss of timeliness, loss of malware infection. We won't worry about those in this particular scenario. If you want to reset them back to their default values, you just click on the little reset button there.
So just to recap, this process is focusing on the primary asset, in this case the customer data, and these impact levels are based on your knowledge of your business and what would happen in your business.
Exactly. And you only need to worry about the primary assets, because you might be thinking, right, well, if I'm worried about the loss of availability of the data, you might start thinking, well, how could that occur? How could the loss of availability occur? I guess I also need to worry about the loss of availability of the server and loss of availability of the network and the Wi-Fi, because that's kind of how I'm accessing it. So you might start thinking, right, I better flag up the impact of loss of availability of the server, because I don't want to lose availability of the data. And in a sense, you're right that they are dependent, but one of the real strengths of this software is it does all of that for you. Because it knows that the server is storing the data and that the availability of the data is important, it automatically works out that the availability of the server is also important, and so forth, and all the other things that are required to maintain that availability. So you've just got to focus on the primary assets and the impact levels for those, and everything else is worked out for you. So it's quite simple.
Perfect.
So once you've set those impact levels, because we take the view that risk level is the impact level times the likelihood. So we've decided on the impact level for the primary asset. Now we've got to work out the likelihoods. And at the moment, as you see, the likelihood's not applicable, so the risk's not applicable. We get the likelihood with the second little play button here, calculate the risks. So if we click on that, then this is going to update those likelihood levels, kind of do that multiplication, impact times likelihood, to give you a risk level. And as you can see, it looks pretty bad. So we've got a very high risk level for loss of confidentiality of the data. Things are not looking good. But hardly surprising, because we put absolutely no security controls on this system. So that's what we need to look at next.
Great. So this is how we go about generating an accurate risk assessment for the model that we've created. Next, we'll look at what we do to try and introduce some of the controls that will mitigate those risks. Thank you.